world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa. I know you've heard or seen the film Rocky Balboa before. The story of the great boxer from Philly, one of the greatest boxing champions in history. But in the film, you'll see how even the greatest of players have their own demons. Even the most successful people struggle through their own hardship, and Rocky was no exception. Today, we see Rocky Balboa as an inspiring figure of growth and courage, fighting against all odds, victorious and relentless. And even though he's just a fictional character, do you know that today, a modern-day Rocky lives among us? On August 20th, this Rocky managed to win against one of the best, perhaps the best, UFC Welterweight Champion of all time. And who would that be, you ask? Well, in today's video, we'll dig more into the UFC leading man himself, Leon Rocky Edwards. Here's his story. Welcome to Untapping Your Potential, where we will share with you motivational stories that will keep you growing and inspire you to take action. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, Leon Edwards lived with his parents and his brother in a one-room home. Their family was poor, and growing up, Edward was constantly surrounded by crime. His father was well involved in what he described as questionable business. But his mother knew that with where they were, Edward and his brother would never live happily. So one day she left their father, took the kids, and came to England in search of a brighter future. But this dream was soon shattered. In Birmingham, Leon fell into the same type of crowd as his father had, and became a juvenile delinquent. I didn't plan getting into gangs. It's just what you did. It was a means of survival. People don't understand that your options are limited when you don't know any better. His father, who was still in Jamaica, was shot and killed in a nightclub when Leon was only 14 years old. I knew that it could happen, but that didn't make it any easier. It tore me apart. It pushed me more into gang life and crime towards the negative. A few years later, at his mother's insistence, Leon would join an MMA gym, and this would change his life around. I was training 2 to 3 times per day, every day. I had my first amateur fight 8 months into training. Then I won 4 fights in one day, winning a tournament at the gym. From then on, I stuck to MMA. I knew I was what I wanted to do. I was a natural at it. I believe this is what God put me here to do. Edward began his professional fighting career in 2010. And ever since that moment, Edward began to win his first few rounds as an amateur fighter. And everything seemed to be going steady at the point, and eventually joined the Ultimate Fighting Champion, UFC. That wasn't until Edward came face to face with Kamara Usman for the first time. He fought with Kamara on December 19, 2015 in the UFC on Fox 17. But he lost the fight by unanimous decision. Many used to criticize Edward because of his play-safe fighting style, and then he had lost to Usman, who was then his complete opposite. People began to sidetrack his abilities. People started to give up on him. No one believed in him. But Edwards didn't give up. In May 2016, he faced Dominic Waters at UFC Fight Night 87. Unexpectedly, he won the fight via unanimous decision. His next fight, Albert Tumanov, in October 2016 at UFC 204, once again he won the fight via submission in the 3rd round. March 2017, UFC Fight Night 107 against Vicente Luque, he won again. September 2017 against Brian Barberena at UFC Fight Night 115, he won again. Peter Salvato, another win. Donald Cerrone, another win. Rafael dos Anjos, another win. It wasn't until he faced off Jorge Masvidal that he started getting into people's radars. But as a guy that got punched backstage. He got his first major pay-per-view fight and defeated Nate Diaz in 2021. But still didn't get the love he appreciated, as Nate almost finished him in the last minute of that fight. Edward had won 9 fights in a row. He strongly believed that he deserved the next title shot. But despite that, he was still denied a championship opportunity. Other fighters, less deserving with less wins, got multiple title shots before Leon. And it wasn't because he wasn't a good fighter or because his abilities lacked, but because Edwards wasn't a talker. People didn't find him interesting enough, not charismatic enough. But Edwards didn't let that negativity get to him. He was finally given his title shot on August 20th, 2022, UFC 278. Edwards went head-to-head with the Nigerian Nightmare Kamara Usman once again for a rematch. Kamara was riding a 15-fight winning streak and was on the verge of tying Anderson Silva's 16-fight fight record. He was at another level, looking towards surpassing GOAT status by George St. Pierre in the welterweight division. Everyone was already placing their bets on Usman and didn't expect Edwards to win. Their predictions was right for most of the fight. In the first round, Edwards surprises Kamara by taking him down to the mat, a feat that no one had done in the UFC, although some say Colby Covington did. And he started using his grappling. However, after that round, his body wasn't adjusting, and Edwards was barely making it. He was out-wrestled, out-paced, outmatched, taken to the ground, taking ground and pound. And Edwards did feel afraid. He didn't think he was going to make it. You can tell it just by his body language. But his coach knew that Edwards could do much better. He saw the opportunity within him. He tells him, come on, don't let him bully you, son. Listen, you're letting him control you too much. You gotta keep your hands going, Leon. You gotta keep your hands going, Leon, come on. And right before the 5th round,
listen, stop feeling sorry for your well, come on then. What's wrong with you? You're too now. You got a ball out of fire.
Leon finally looked at his coach in his eyes and knew he had to do more. And for the first 4 minutes, it looked like Kamara was going to cruise and win once again. Even the commentators were writing down his obituary. But with 50 seconds left on the clock, Leon pulled an unexpected comeback. As Kamara relaxes and walks back, Edwards feints with a left punch, and Kamara anticipates a punch, so he moves his head towards his right side, but did not expect the left head kick that landed flush on his chin. Leon knocked out Kamara Usman to win the UFC welterweight title. The kick that will go down in history, the kick that will withstand the test of time, the greatest kick in UFC history. Leon ended Usman's UFC winning streak of 15 fights. It was one of the most spectacular knockouts in MMA history. This fight was exactly like my life. I started ahead in the fight, then it was all Kamara. Kamara had been the dominant guy for a while, but I didn't believe he was the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I needed to prove that, and I never stopped working. I kept my faith in God and always believed in myself. That's how I achieved it. Fans at Salt Lake City started the night chanting for Usman, but ended the night chanting Rocky, Edwards' nickname. When it was all said and done, Leon makes his first phone call to the most important person in his life, his mom, and in tears he says,
Mom, I told you, Mom. I told you.
Look at Edwards right now. He was a man who everyone thought didn't deserve his title, a man who everyone said didn't stand a chance, a man who everyone said was boring and uninteresting. But he is also the man responsible for one of the most memorable moments in UFC title bout history. Can you imagine? Only in this sport can you be seconds away from winning, but also seconds away from losing. But you know what most fighters do during these moments? They take their losses. And surviving the round or surviving the fight would be considered a moral win. Let me ask you, what would you have done? Most people would have taken the loss, would have wanted to give up, accept defeat, but not Edwards. Edwards was not afraid. From the beginning, he already had a strong resolve. Because despite no one believing in him, he believed in himself. His coaches kept believing in him. Don't let others tell you what you can't do. Don't let the limitations of others limit your vision. If you can remove your self-doubt and believe in yourself, just as Edwards did, you can achieve what you never thought possible. There will be nothing you can't accomplish if you have faith, have strength, thrive with courage, surround yourself with coaches and mentors that believe in you. And when you do, soon, in the near future, you will be able to proudly show yourself to the world. And just as Leon Edwards himself once said, they all doubted me. Look at me now. Look at me now. Thanks for watching this video. How would you like to hear more motivational stories on a consistent basis? Do me a favor and support the channel by sharing, commenting below, and please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button to get the latest update. Soon, you will be on your way to feeling inspired.